You're watching TAG TV.
Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Tuesday, the 8th of January. Prime Ministers of India and Norway hold talks in New Delhi to boost bilateral ties. Nepal's tourism minister refutes corruption allegations in Airbus Steel. And Sri Lanka Navy apprehends 4 Indian fishermen. And now for all the details. Norwegian Prime Minister Erna Solberg on Tuesday met her Indian counterpart Narendra Modi in New Delhi and discussed issues including blue economy, climate change and sustainable development goals. Both the leaders later agreed to launch India-Norway Ocean Dialogue for sustainable use of marine resources between the two countries.
Norwegian Prime Minister Erna Solberg on Tuesday met her Indian counterpart Narendra Modi in New Delhi to boost bilateral ties between the two countries. During delegation-level talks, both the leaders discussed various issues related to trade and investment, blue economy, climate change, sustainable development goals and renewable energy. Later, a memorandum of understanding was also exchanged between both the sides to launch India-Norway Ocean Dialogue for sustainable use of marine resources, bed mining and green technologies in shipping and marine activities.
We have agreed to intensify our cooperation on issues relating to the seas, to a new joint task force on the blue economy, focusing on integrated ocean management. India is an ocean country. We first started our practical cooperation through fishery projects between Norway and India, and we are intensifying the work in the future on the ocean economy. Oceans are important for jobs, for clean seas, for resources.
और हमारे लिए ये प्रसन्नता का विषय है कि दोनों देश मिलकर नॉर्वे इंडिया पार्टनरशिप इनिशिएटिव द्वारा मातृ एवं शिशु स्वास्थ्य के विषय पर सफल सहयोग कर रहे हैं। फ्रेंड, भारत और नॉर्वे के संबंधों में ट्रेड एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट का अहम महत्व है। नॉर्वे के गवर्नमेंट पेंशन फंड ग्लोबल ने भारत में लगभग $12 बिलियन का पोर्टफोलियो निवेश किया है।
Earlier in the day, the visiting Prime Minister was accorded a ceremonial guard of honour at the Presidential Palace in Indian national capital, New Delhi. She was also scheduled to attend the inaugural session of the Raisina Dialogue, an annual geopolitical conference, later in the day.
Security forces gunned down 1 terrorist in an encounter in Pulwama district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province on Tuesday. This comes a week after 3 terrorists were neutralized in another encounter in Tral area of Pulwama district.
One terrorist was killed by security forces in an encounter in Pulwama district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province on Tuesday. The encounter broke out after terrorists attacked a security force patrol party with automatic weapons at village Chaudhry Bagh in Pulwama. The security forces also retaliated to the fire, during which 1 terrorist was neutralized. The area had been sealed and a coordinated search operation had been launched to nab the remaining terrorists responsible for the attack till the last reports came in. This comes a week after security forces gunned down 3 terrorists reportedly belonging to Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed terror group in another encounter in Tral area of Pulwama district. India accuses neighbouring Pakistan of arming and infiltrating terrorists across the border to spread unrest in Kashmir Valley. Pakistan denies the allegations.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghan Red Crescent Society on Monday shared it has treated more than 1,700 children with cardiac diseases in the year 2018. According to the organization, due to an increase of financial support last year, the number of children who recovered from cardiac diseases increased by 60% compared to 2017.
Afghan Red Crescent Society or ARCS on Monday said more than 1,740 children with cardiac diseases were treated by the organization in 2018. ARCS said due to the increase of financial support to the organization last year, the number of children who recovered from cardiac diseases increased by 60% compared to 2017. ARCS statistics show that in the last 10 years, over 8,670 children with cardiac diseases were treated in Afghanistan and also sent outside the country, in some cases for further treatment. ARCS statistics show that more than 6,600 children are suffering from cardiac diseases and are waiting for the organization to provide them with treatment opportunities. ARCS officials on Monday said they will inaugurate a hospital next year in Kabul, which will have modern equipment and better opportunities to treat cardiac diseases inside the country.
In news from Bangladesh, Bangladesh's Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina took oath for a third consecutive term on Monday, over a week after national elections on December 30th saw her Awami League party win a landslide victory. This is Hasina's fourth overall term as Prime Minister.
Bangladesh's incumbent Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was sworn in for her third straight term on Monday after winning a controversial general elections last month. Bangladesh's President Abdul Hamid administered the oath to Hasina and other cabinet members at the swearing-in ceremony at the Presidential Palace in Dhaka. Hasina's ruling alliance, led by the Awami League, won more than 90% of the seats contested in the December 30th election that was marred by accusations of ballot stuffing, voter intimidation and violence that killed at least 19 people. Hasina and her ruling Awami League party have dismissed the accusations. As many as 7 members of opposition parties earlier on Thursday boycotted a ceremony in which Hasina and other MPs were sworn in as legislators. The Jatiya Party, a key ally of the Awami League, on Friday decided to join the opposition amid allegations that the polls were rigged.
And moving on to news from Nepal, Nepalese Tourism Minister Rabindra Adhikari has refuted all allegations of financial irregularities against him in the purchase of 2 Airbus aircrafts. His statement came as the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee on Monday endorsed a report of its subcommittee on the alleged wrongdoings.
Nepal's Tourism Minister Rabindra Adhikari on Monday said all allegations of financial irregularities against him in the purchase of 2 Airbus aircrafts are baseless and far from the truth. On Monday, the Parliamentary Public Account Committee or PAC, while endorsing its report, recommended lawful action against 3 ministers, including Rabindra Adhikari, on moral ground, local media reports said. It also sought suspension of Nepal Airlines Corporation Managing Director Sugad Ratna Kansakar and stern action against him. The more than $209 million aircraft purchase deal for Nepal Airlines Corporation rocked the country as one of the biggest corruption scandals in its history after PAC subcommittee last week asserted that the procurement of 2 A330 jets caused a loss of Rs 4.35 billion to the government. Based on the report, PAC has directed the government to take legal action against the ministers involved for not carrying out their responsibility to stop the deal.
4 Indian fishermen were apprehended and their fishing trailer was seized by the Sri Lankan Navy on Tuesday for allegedly fishing in its waters. Fishermen from both the countries frequently stray into each other's territory and then end up spending years in the jails.
At least 4 Indian fishermen were arrested and their fishing trailer was impounded by Sri Lankan Navy on Tuesday for allegedly fishing illegally in its waters. The Sri Lankan Navy confirmed the arrest in a statement on its official website. The apprehended fishermen were produced for a medical test before being handed over to the Assistant Director of Fisheries in Jaffna for onward legal action, the statement said.
4 மீனவர்களையும் ஒரு படகையும் இலங்கை கடற்படை கைது செய்து சிறையில் அடைச்சிருக்காங்க. இதே மாதிரி பாத்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னா நேத்தும் இதே மாதிரி 4 மீனவர்களை பிடிச்சாங்க. கொஞ்ச நாளாக இலங்கை கடற்படை அடக்கி வாசிச்சிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. இப்ப மறுபடியும் அந்த அவங்களுடைய வேட்டையாடுற அந்த படலத்தை வந்து அவங்க துவக்கிட்டாங்க. இது தொடர்ந்து இந்த பகுதியில் இப்படியே நடந்துகிட்டு இருந்துச்சுன்னு சொன்னா இங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய மீனவர்கள் எப்படி தான் ஜீவாதாரத்தை நடத்துறது, எப்படி தான் மீன்பிடி தொழிலை தொடர்ந்து செய்வதுன்னு தெரியல.
India shares an expansive oceanic border with Sri Lanka without any perceptible demarcation, and fishermen on both sides ignore rules while netting their catch. Sri Lanka has long fumed over poaching and illegal fishing by Indian fishermen that it says depletes the catch of its own fishermen.
An 81-year-old former lawmaker has been pursuing doctorate of philosophy or PhD in India's eastern Bhubaneswar city to fulfill his dream of getting higher education. Dr. Canarian Narayan Sahu left politics to follow the path of education and now lives in a hostel with his fellow classmates.
Proving that there is no age bar for learning, an 81-year-old former lawmaker, Narayan Sahu, has been pursuing doctorate of philosophy or PhD from Utkal University in India's eastern Bhubaneswar city. Sahu, who has served as member of Odisha Province Legislative Assembly twice and a member of Parliament as well, left politics to follow the path of education. He leads the life of a common scholar in a hostel room of the university. The 100 square feet hostel room where the octogenarian lives has a small bed covered with a mosquito net, while the rest of the space has been occupied by clothes, books and a table crowded with notebooks and study material.
At the age of 81, I enjoyed my life with the students, enjoying the picnic only last week. So, this is a great opportunity for me to feel young with youngsters.
Because he is 80 years old and still he is studying in the department, and especially he is the student of PG department of philosophy. So I am very much inspired by him because he is studying at this age of 80, and it is very inspiring for all of us.
In 1963, Sahu graduated in economics from Ravenshaw University in Odisha, but his zeal to pursue higher studies pushed him to become a student again after 46 years. In 2011, he completed his post-graduation from Utkal University and subsequently took admission in the same university to pursue Master of Philosophy or MPhil in 2012.
The traditional winter dress, Fairan, has retained its charm among the people since ages in India's Jammu and Kashmir. The loose-fitted gown worn by both men and women as an overcoat scores over the modern winter costumes due to its comfort and warmth to beat the chill.
The traditional winter apparel Fairan has retained its charm among the people since ages in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province as it scores over the modern winter costumes due to its warmth and comfort to beat the chill. Fairan is a loose-fitted gown worn by both men and women in the Kashmir Valley and acts as an overcoat for the people and helps them protect themselves from the bone-chilling cold. The clothing markets in the Kashmir Valley have been buzzing with the surge in sales of the traditional robes tailored in different styles and designs.
फेरन है वो एक कश्मीरी ट्रेडिशनल ड्रेस है जो कि अब कश्मीरीज़ एज़ वेल एज़ जो कश्मीर से बाहर लोग हैं वो भी प्रेफर करते हैं पहनने को, क्योंकि जो उसका फ़ैशन है, जो उसका स्टाइल है, उसकी जो वैरायटीज़ है वो बाहर के कस्टमर्स को भी और टूरिस्ट लोगों को भी बहुत पसंद है. वो लोग भी प्रेफर करते हैं फेरन पहनना. फेरन जो है एक लूज़ ड्रेस होता है जिसमें आप कांगड़ी अंदर से ले सकते हो, लेकिन अब थोड़ा मॉडर्नाइजेशन आ गया तो अभी थोड़े टाइट वाले फेरन्स भी आते हैं मार्केट में.
In Kashmir, women wear embroidered fairans with wide sleeves, while men wear plain dress with narrow sleeves and left side chest open collar. The garment is so popular among the Kashmiris that it has become synonymous with their identity across the globe.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.